I know it's 9 o'clock.
stretch and allow ourselves to be completely open-minded, then it is possible the Dallas Cowboys are back in the playoff picture. Technically, their win Sunday night over the Eagles did put them at 4-5, tied with Philly, not far behind Washington, who sits atop the division at 6-3. So who's going to win the division? Troy Aikman has a take that may surprise you.
Yeah, right now, if I had to pick somebody, I'd pick Dallas. The Thanksgiving game is huge, but I think that if Dallas can keep it within 2 games going into Thanksgiving and then win that game, I think they're positioned pretty well. The next week or so will be interesting to see what happens.
All right, so Stink, what exactly does Dallas have to do if they do want to do this? They want to take the NFC East.
You watch the way they played, the way they controlled the line of scrimmage on both lines of scrimmage. We get so caught up in quarterback play. We get so caught up in what's a guy doing throwing the ball and how many deep shots does he take and is he just underneath. When you dominate a line of scrimmage like they dominated the Philadelphia Eagles on both sides of the line of scrimmage, you're going to win most of your games, 85% of your games. And one of the big changes for them, they changed their left guard. Their rookie left guard struggled. Connor has struggled. He was undersized. A little undersized. Connor Williams had the knee injury. Xavier, what's his name? Suafilo. He came in. Kicked by the Texans. Right. He came in there and absolutely struggled to drive and then dispense justice. I mean, he went out there and just drove people. And they started running the ball. They had all the play action stuff. They had all the zone read stuff. I mean, if they do that on a consistent basis, they can play with any team. When they show up like that and they understand that we're just going to
How many times have you seen that happen from this team? How many times have they been able to do that?
It's been inconsistent, but a lot of times it's inconsistent because you get away from it. You get to the point where, like, there's the thing, a lot of offensive coordinators and a lot of let's just call them coaches in general, like, you don't get a lot of juice outside the facility if you're handing the ball off and you're just dominating the line of scrimmage and you're not making any specials and you're not doing...
Not in this NFL.
Right, no.
It's hard to function.
Because what ends up happening to you is you just become a guy that has, they're the best O-line in the business, and, they just can run the ball, and, they can just do this.
You mean, so you're saying the coordinator doesn't get credit? He gets the media and in NFL circles for winning that way.
So, let me ask you this. Every guy that's coordinating right now, what's his desire?
To be a head coach.
To be a head coach. If it's the system and it's the physicality and it's the O-line and it's Zeke Elliott and you're not getting any credit for the quarterback development, how often are you going to get another opportunity when you've been a head coach before to get another head coaching job?
Okay, hello friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and joining our stream. Let's get open for business here, guys. It is Friday night, and I just got paid. No, actually, I didn't get paid. You're self-employed. You never know when you're going to get paid, but it is what it is. Here we are getting ready for the Atlanta Falcons, and what a difference a week makes, because last week, it was a funeral. Let's be honest now. It was a funeral. It was the last gasp. Literally, we were on life support. We were damn near dead. And nobody other than me gave us a chance. They basically said, you got a chance. And bet on the none. But we went up into Philadelphia. We manned up, and to my surprise, the team fought like hell for Jason Garrett. They came out, they had a great game plan. They mixed things up a little bit. Amari Cooper starts getting in the mix a little bit more. Dak showing a little bit more, getting better, regardless of what you guys say. Now, let me acknowledge and say hello to a lot of your friends. Oh, I see Wang Hung didn't come in and start out with Dak sucks. I appreciate that, Wang Yu. Dak is lucky he dropped the pick six. Well, you know what? I got to tell you, Wang, here's the problem. Let me start acknowledging people and I'll get back to that. I see Nick, I see Joshua, of course we've seen Wang Yu. We see DMS, we see Raymond Walker, we see Dallas 22, we see JR 214, we see Quest for Cowboys, we see RJ, we see Nick, we see Don, we see Natasha, we see Last Jedi, we see Marcus, we see Victor, we see Boomer Sooner, and Brian from SoCal. My wife asked, why on all the memes do I look so fat? You trying to tell me something? It's time to go on a diet? We got Jag the Jester. We got Justin. We got Anthony. We got Sandman. Of course, Sandman's been texting me all day and everything else. Apparently, he went off earlier in the video. I just couldn't watch it because I was down taking care of the in-laws and taking care of some business stuff with the bad weather and things. We got Omar. Now, back to what Wang Yu was saying. Because, see, go off on people, Wang, but if you have a take, you know what, I am more than happy to make a discussion. But if your comment is just Dak sucks, okay, maybe he's not the perfect quarterback right now. But you know what? Looking at numbers of players in their third year quarterback versus when they've been in the league 8, 10, 12 years, are two totally different things. That's why I compared. Where's my? Oh, look at my list. That's why I compared Matt Ryan's numbers with Dak Prescott the first 3 years. They're comparable. That's not to say he's necessarily going to be Matt Ryan. Hopefully, he's not going to choke in a Super Bowl. But you have to understand, this guy has only been in the league 2.5 years. With a garbage offense, with an offense that lost to Des Bryant, a Jason Witten, and an offensive line that's just beginning to come together again. So we have to understand that things aren't the same as 2016. 2016, the offensive line was healthy all year long and running over and killing people. Okay? But part of the problem is because shows like First Take, First Things First, Undisputed, Scratch My Balls, all these different shows always focus in on the Dallas Cowboys and every single play. And because the Cowboys are pretty much on every nationally, you know, here it was, Sunday Night Football last week, the Fox game of the week, or, Fox game at 1 o'clock, national game, Thanksgiving game, the New Orleans game. We have so many games that are prime time. You see every single play that Dak does. And every time there's an incompletion or a pass that might not be the perfect location, he is scrutinized more than anybody else. Take a look at last night's game with Aaron Rodgers. The best man, as Stephen A. Smith would say. And you'll see him take a sack when he had two wide open receivers. You'll see him with some passes that are short, some passes that are long. You'll see him with some passes that the placement isn't exactly there, but his players made adjustments to get the ball. There is no quarterback out there that every single pass in a game is perfect. There is not. Yet that is what every Cowboy player expects on every single play, that every ball is exactly right here. I'm famous on Philly 500 channel. Famous in a good way or not? I don't know if that's a good thing or not to be famous on a Philadelphia channel, but I appreciate that, Victor. So understand that's room to grow. Hopefully, the end of this year, we'll get a different offensive coordinator, somebody who's playing a more modern offense. Now, here's an interesting statistic here. Because, see, when I come at you guys, I always try to have numbers and statistics to back me up. Doesn't mean it's always going to be right. But at least I'm just following along what they say on Fox or on ESPN or NFL Network. I'm at least coming up with my own conclusions with what I see. Interesting fact. We look at audio is in and out. I might be talking too loud. If I peak too loud, it'll go out. So let me try and turn it down a little bit here. Because I get excited, it'll peak out. Okay. Hopefully that'll take care of it. Interesting thing. As I go through, and I did a video earlier on this, and of course, the Dak haters will come through and say, you're full of crap. You didn't change the statistic. It's not true. But here's an interesting thing. In the games that we played, we lost, in the games that we played, we lost to the Panthers, 8-16. Panthers defense, 15th. We beat the New York Stinking Giants, 20-13. Their defense, 22nd. Against Seattle Seahawks, we lost 13-24. Their defense, 11th. Against the Lions, we won 26-24. Lions defense, 19th. The Texans, we lost 16-19. Their defense is 9th. We beat Jacksonville 40-7. Their defense is ranked 3rd. We lost to the Skins 20-17. Their defense 17th. Titans, we lost 28-14. 6th rated defense. And the Eagles, we beat 27-20. 16th rated defense. If you average out those defenses, that averages out to us playing the 13th ranked defense week after week. 13th. So that means that you're playing the top half of defenses every week thus far this season. So the worst defense we have played has been the Giants at 22nd. But we got 3 teams that are in the top 10 in defense with our offense. Atlanta Falcons, and I'm doing this because I want to troll that stinking Atlanta Falcons fan who always sends me emails, is always talking about how good his team. I mean, you mean the team that lost to the Doo-Doo Browns last week? All right. Here's the schedule from the Atlanta Falcons. They lost to the Eagles 18-12. Eagles, of course, 16th ranked defense. They beat the Panthers 31-24, 15th ranked defense. They lost to the Saints 43-37, 23rd ranked defense. They lost to the Bengals 37-36, 32nd defense. They did beat the Steelers 41-17, which is the Steelers had the 8th ranked defense. That's the best defense they played statistically. They beat Tampa 34-29, the same Tampa Bay that only scored 3 points last week against the Redskins, which is the 28th ranked defense. They beat the Giants 23-20, 22nd ranked defense. They destroyed the Redskins 38-14, 17th ranked defense. And they lost to the Browns. They only scored 16 points against the 31st defense in the NFL. So if we use the same thing, if we average that out, they average playing the 21st ranked defense week in and week out. So Matt Ryan, so again, average. We've been playing defenses that are averaging out at 13th ranked defenses. They're playing ones that are averaging out at 21st. Now, their offense is playing a whole lot more. Playing a lot better. But then they got Julio Jones, they got Sanu, and they got Calvin Ridley, and a former MVP in Matty Ice. and Matty Ice is playing better than I gave him credit for. I will be the one to admit that I said that Matty Ice sucked because numbers, he only had 20 touchdowns last year. He's playing a lot better with great wide receivers. Now, I dare say, do you think, honestly now, Dak haters, I honestly want you to answer this truthfully. Do you believe if Dak Prescott were throwing to Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Sanu, that his numbers would not be better? Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer it honestly. Don't give me this crap. No, he just sucks. He couldn't do it. James Woodley. Whoa, dude. Thank you so much, man. Carolina Panthers versus Dallas Cowboys wild card first round in Texas. Hope to see you in Texas. Oh, man, I tell you what, James, I would love for that. I tell you what, if the Cowboys make it the playoff and have a playoff game in Texas, I'm going to find a way to be there. I mean, if I have to beg, borrow, and steal to do that, I will be at a playoff game. In fact, before I go on a little further with this stuff, Eagles game. The Eagles game we will be at. Okay, my computer, hopefully it's not frozen up with you guys. My computer has frozen up over here. Let me make sure that must have been that $50 super chat there. The Eagles game, me and Michael are going to be headed to Dallas. We are going to be there, and we're going to be doing some stuff with my man Barry. Barry, and I've got to get the link put up. Okay, for some reason my computer is locked up on me. Hopefully, where are we? You're right, Christmas is coming early. For some reason my screen's locked up, but it seems like we're still broadcasting. But anyway, we're going to be at the Eagle game, and Barry, my man, Law Nation, is going to come on here later on with us and also talk about it. But it's going to be really, really cool because we're going to be doing autograph signing with Drew Pearson. We're going to have Michael Gallup is going to be there as well as some other Cowboy players, and it's only like $25 to get in. So we're looking at doing that and having a ball. Let me try and reload this because this is not working. Let's see. Forgive me, guys. Having computer issues here tonight. Hopefully you guys still... I got two $50 super chats. Unfortunately, my computer's acting funny tonight. I think you guys broke the internet for me, but I appreciate it. Let's see if we can get it back up again. So if you guys want to join us, we're talking about having a tailgate before the game. We're talking about having the autograph signing on Saturday with Drew Pearson. And we're going to be at the game. So they've actually got tickets, believe it or not, for the Redskin game. So if you guys are actually looking for tickets to go to the Redskin game on Thanksgiving, there we go. Looks like we're back up. Okay, forgive me. Let me get caught back up in here. Anthony Myers, damn. I know you do not like Dak at all. To me, he gets a lot of excuses, and I don't see his growth. But must say you're consistent about your boy Dak. Go hard. You know what, Antoine? I'm hoping, and I appreciate the super chat, man, because you know what? We're actually going to be buying some new equipment in here to really upgrade again, and that's going to go a long ways forward. So I appreciate that. And I understand that a lot of people don't like Dak, and I'm not saying that Dak right now is where we want him to be. Right now, he's got a lot of work to do. I'll be the first one to admit it. The team has a lot of work to do. But right now, when you look at where the team started in the beginning of the season, 160, 170 yards, that wasn't anywhere near what you want to see. But slowly but surely, the team has been turning around and getting better and better on offense, okay? You know, last week it was 274 yards. It was a touchdown. And we're not turning over the ball. Because take a look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had over 500 yards of offense last week, but kept turning the ball over and had 3 points. 3 lousy points. That's it, period. You can't win games if you're turning the ball over. And you finally got Zeke Elliott put together. Now, I know it's not sexy, it's not beautiful. The tickets for the autograph signing, I believe, are $25, and then there's different tiers as far as the seats, because they have upper level and lower level, and then they even have suites and stuff like that. But I'll make sure that I have the link on here, and actually, when Law Nation comes on, he'll actually have that as well. Let me get something set up here. So make sure I've got the Skype set so that when Law calls in, that I see it. So I'll talk about that more this week and stuff like that, and we'll get it together so that way you guys can join us. Is something going on, Mike? Okay. Michael's walking around like a hawk right now. Okay, so Michael's walking like a hawk, and I'm like, okay, is there some breaking news with the Cowboys or something? Is something going on? But
Do you want pizza now?
no, not right now. Thank you. Dak is like Kevin Durant. People hating on him for not developing. Well, like I said, here's the thing. Here's an interesting thing. When you listen to the talking heads out there, they only talk about Dak Prescott. How about Derek Carr? Because a lot of people say, I'll take Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a better quarterback. Last year, he was 60th in NFL top players with identical statistics to Dak Prescott. Just hear me out now. Hear me out. Listen to the whole thing. Don't shut off your ear, Dak haters. Because here's the thing. Right now, Derek Carr's QBR is 93.5. Dak, as bad as he's played, his numbers are going up. It's 90.8. Derek Carr's got 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Dak's got 11 and only 5. The Cowboys have a 4-5 record. The Raiders have a 1-8. All right, let's compare apples to oranges. How about this? Amari Cooper. A lot of people said the Cowboys are crazy for making that trade. You're giving up a number one for a guy who hasn't had a good season in a couple of years. It's a waste. He's going to suck. He has not done a thing. And it's kind of like Run DMC, my man. Averaged 3.4 yards 3 years in a row with the Raiders till he got to Dallas behind that offensive line, and then averaged 4.8. And I said, listen, get him away from there. He'll get over here. He'll get motivated. He'll play better because it's a train wreck right now in Oakland. Derek Carr's a mess right now. He's crying on the field. And here's what's interesting. And I know he's only got 11 catches in 2 games with the Cowboys. Only 11 in 2 games for 133 yards. But we're talking about having about 7, maybe 8 practices with Dak. Some of the practices were basically Skyping. 11 catches, 12.1 average, 1 touchdown, 133 yards. Okay? Yeah, and Dak has 3 rushing touchdowns to add to it. But people won't count that because they say, oh, he's just a running quarterback, Justin. But great point. But here's what's interesting. In 6 games that he played, 7 games that he played with Derek Carr, the guy that everybody said he's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Better quarterback than Dak Prescott. In 7 games, only 22 receptions. 1 touchdown, 280 yards. 6 games versus 2. Dak, he's gotten half of those yards that he did in 6 games in 2. In just 2 games. And I think you're going to see him going better and better and better as they work together more and more. I love what I'm hearing from Dak and from him both. You know, it's like a bromance that they're getting on the same page. Yes, Dak had that fumble that would have been a short touchdown. But you can see the talent that he has and the ability. He literally faked the cornerback into his knee being broken, being ripped apart. Linehan and Moore, definitely, I agree, have to go. But this game is the game that I believe will be a breakout game for our Cowboys. This time, because again, the worst defense we have played to this point has been the New York stinking Giants with the 22nd rated defense. The Atlanta Falcons aren't the same defense that came through last year when we didn't have Tyron Smith, when we didn't have Zeke Elliott. And you saw Zeke Elliott on one play take out two guys blocking in the backfield. Claiborne isn't there. And this defense, it sucks. It sucks. 30th ranked defense. How bad is it? They're giving up 414 yards a game. They're giving up 5.2 yards per run, 8 yards per pass. Can we say run the damn ball? Oh, but Ryan, see, here's the problem though, Ryan. You know, last year, Alfred Morris was averaging, I think, about 4.6 yards a carry last year against them running, but we only ran the ball 11 times. It was one of those things that I always say that Jason Garrett's default is pass the ball. From the time Zeke went out, they just passed the damn ball and got away from what they did. Is Matt W. in here starting trash? Matt is just a Dak Prescott hater. He is a Tony Romo lover. He will be, Tony Romo could be 75 years old, and he'll say Tony Romo should be back starting. So just ignore him. He loves the attention. Justin, I don't know about that, buddy. Everybody thinks Atlanta. See, there's what people believe, and then there's reality. Atlanta's 3-2 at home this year. 3-2 at home. They've lost 2 games at home. Hopefully this will be third. We all believe that Atlanta, great offense, great defense, they're unbeatable at home, but I guess let's go back again. The defenses that they played against, the Eagles, they scored 12 points. Now, the Panthers, they did good. They scored 24. The Saints, which are 23rd, they scored 37. Tampa Bay, they let Tampa Bay score 29. They let the Giants score 20 points on that defense. And they only scored 23 points on the New York Giants. On that defense? So, I'm not saying that they can't win, because they can win. Anybody can beat you. But remember, they lost to the Browns. 24-14. Okay, draft, wait a minute. Thanks for the super chat, Aaron. Cowboys Falcons 24-14. And what about getting a draft pick first or second for Lyle and move Connor to tackle if Xavier does? I don't I read that article that you're talking about where they were saying that we could get a number one for Lyle. I'm not sure that you're going to get a number one for him. Lyle's a good player, a really good player, but this year has been kind of a down year. I still believe he's a better guard. In fact, when Connor Williams went down, I just thought that we would go ahead and move him down to guard and bring Clem Fleming in at tackle. But I didn't know we had Xavier. Xavier's a beast. And Amaro Terraza, thank you for the super chat too. What do I think about the Falcons game? Are you expecting a good game or the same approach as last week? I have low expectations last week, and I have low expectations this week. And maybe that's the thing to do. I tell you what, I hope we kick off the game to start out with. And I hope what has happened to us over and over again is we have a good game where we finally feel good. We got it together. They're calling all kinds of stuff, and then we go back to the crap that we did before. And I hope that we keep mixing it up. For me, I would love for our Cowboys to come out in the first series and go no huddle. I would love for them to do something that nobody is expecting them. Because I got to tell you, and I'll pull this up real quick here too. What I like seeing is, I like seeing Dak Prescott in no huddle. To me, Dak looks like he is more comfortable, more confident, and ready to go. And here's the thing that you Cowboy haters, I know you don't like Dak. I don't get it, but I understand. You just don't like him. But this is the last drive. I'll just let this run while I'm talking. I'll turn the sound down on it too. But you guys can watch this. And he misses a pass or two in this, but I got to tell you, that happens with every coach, quarterback out there. They miss plays. But you look at him. This is the game. You're in Philadelphia against the Eagles. Your season, everything is right here on this drive. It's tied up. We done gone through in Washington and lost the game. We done lost the Texans and stuff like that. You need to get a touchdown. You need to take control of this team. And you don't see a quarterback here who's a deer caught in the headlights. He's cool. He's moving around the pocket. He's hitting the guys that are open. Now, don't ask me when they get in the huddle and they call the plays, because he doesn't look that confident and that ready to go to me. Maybe you guys see something different. But a guy who can do this, and it's been 11 game-winning drives in his short career. 11 game-winning drives. I look back, because I'm old, at guys like Ken Stabler, the Snake. Ken Stabler sometimes threw some of the ugliest passes and stuff that was boneheaded. But when the game was on the line, he got his stuff together and he brought his team back and he won. And there's certain guys that are just, Jim Plunkett was another one with the Raiders that was ugly. But when the shit was hitting the fan, they scored. Yeah, I know he said that we're going to have a track meet, but see, I think differently. I think we can put enough pressure on Matty Ice and things to slow them down. See, and that's where everybody figured we were going to get blown out last week. You know, it's kind of amazing how people forecast what's going to happen. How often are people right? Remember early in the season, before the season started, the Eagles were the best team in football? Not even close? Not so much. Remember when people said the New York Giants are going to be so much better this year with Barkley? They got 2 wins. Remember they said Aaron Rodgers is back? Green Bay, got to watch them. Remember they said Minnesota, oh, now they got Kirk Cousins. Was anybody talking about the Chicago Bears and Trubisky? So you can take what people say and throw it out the window. I bet he said last week the Cowboys didn't have a chance too, right? Right? It's football. All I know is, by going by statistics, some of the defenses that Atlanta's been playing have been suspect. They scored only 13 points against the 30th ranked defense in Cleveland. Joe, you know, you're. Here's the thing. You go back and look at that game last night and tell me that Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Don't get me wrong. He can make some incredible passes, but he's also mortal too. Quest Cowboys. Yeah, you got a good point there. They definitely have a better head coach, although I will actually say, I got to tell you, one thing that I will never, ever forget that was actually kind of amazing to be part of it was watching the Falcons and New England in the Super Bowl. Being there live. How Atlanta was up, killing them. How the New England fans were just obnoxious. They were mad. But then all of a sudden they started coming back. And they got more obnoxious and more mad. And watching that team go downhill, and I turned to my wife and I said, they're pulling the Cowboys. And damn if they didn't have first down in field goal range. I do not know what's going on because my computer keeps freezing up tonight. First down in field goal range, all they had to do was run the ball a couple of times. Kick a field goal, been up 2 scores, and that would have been it. Yet, they tried to pass the ball, get sacked, and get out of field goal range. New England gets the ball, drives down, ties up the score, and the rest is history. And the biggest choke of all time has happened. And I felt like that was Jason Garrett and the Cowboys I was watching. Some reason I have lost. People make excuses for Aaron Rodgers. Well, of course, Aaron Rodgers, he's the bad man. And, of course, he's got a Super Bowl ring. But he still makes mistakes like anybody else. Now, a lot of their problem is the team that's around him. And believe me, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, although he's also playing injured as well this season. So I'll give him, credit on that one. And he has killed the Cowboys too many times. Chris Richard versus Dan Quinn, who wins? I'll take Chris Richard over anybody right now. Chris Richard is my man. Chris Richard is the guy that I absolutely, positively love. Stephen Jones didn't like the fact that he was basically in that shuffle, that scuff before the game. I gotta tell you, I kind of like a little bit of edge, a little bit of nasty, a little bit of a coach who's all in for his players and his team. I'd say, Cleveland, I'm with you. I'd say he'd knock him the heck out. Don't remind me, hate the Packers. But yeah, that's why I hate the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Last night it would have been better for us if Green Bay had won. It really would have, because Seattle owns the tiebreaker between us. But in other ways, I'm kind of glad they lost too. And our real way to get into the playoffs is to go ahead and get the division. Stephen Jones is soft like Jason Garrett. Aloha from Hawaii. How you doing, Wilson? Must be nice to be in Honolulu right now. Chris Richard will be the head coach next season with or without the Cowboys. I have to agree with you on that one. And see, that's where you got a couple of people that people are going to look at trying to get at the end of this year. When you look at a Van Der Esch picked up in the draft, you look at a Michael Gallup picked up in the draft, and even Connor Williams to some extent, Will McClay has done an outstanding job of getting talent. What we've done with the talent on the field is a different story. That's coaching. But the Texans wanted to look at him to be their GM last year, and I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there, loudmouth with no rings, Richard equals players telling him, shit, you trap. Chris Richard got a ring there, buddy, and he's been to a second Super Bowl, Matt. You talk about Chris Richard. You trying to get the dumbass comment of the day? Chris Richard, leading the defense in Seattle, was number 1 3 years in a row in scoring defense. His bad years was 4th and 13th. In that 13th season, he lost Richard Sherman, he lost Cam Chancellor, he lost Cliff Averill, he lost, what is his name? Sheldon Richardson, and another guy. Dude's got a ring, so I don't know what you're talking about. Chris Richard has the jewelry. He has the mentality, and he's got that defense playing pretty damn good. Now, you got to, I know you hate Dak Prescott and all that, but don't start hating on Chris Richard, because Chris Richard has done a hell of a job. Josh McDaniels, a lot of people talk about Josh McDaniels for the Cowboys, but I remember what Josh McDaniels did with Denver. He dismantled that team, and that thing was a mess. Now, they're rumoring him to go to Green Bay. Now, what's interesting with Green Bay, of course, is that Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat. Mike McCarthy has won 135 games. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's only lost like 82. They've killed the Cowboys twice in the playoffs. And he's on the hot seat. Harbaugh is on the hot seat. He's got a ring. He's winning, or has won, with Baltimore. Not exactly the big city and the glamorous lights and a whole bunch of money and stuff. Those guys are on the hot seat. Yet we still hold on to Jason Garrett. Does that make sense to you guys? You know what, Shane? I think we just need to. I think Matt's looking for attention, because there's no way in the world he doesn't know that Chris Richard was the defensive coordinator that created the Legion of Boom. I'm sorry. If he doesn't, he needs to go back underneath the rock that he just came out from under. How did he play in the Super Bowl? Dude, he built that defense that was a Super Bowl champion. The best defense you could say over the last 10 years.
He's a former player in the NFL.
You just, ignore. Let's just ignore Matt.
He played 3 years in Seattle in his career.
He's young Wilson, the question you have to ask is he great as an offensive coordinator, or is he great because he's got Tom Brady and he's got Bill Belichick? Because it seems like no matter who is there with New England, they do well. But the coaches that come from there, they're not like they're coming from the Bill Parcells coaching tree. They haven't had a lot of success as head coaches elsewhere. I'm trying to think of who has. You had Mangini. You had the guy that looks like our father-in-law. Great defensive coordinator. Damn, big heavy-set black guy. He didn't do much. Josh McDaniels didn't do much. So I'm not sure that being an offensive coordinator or being a coach from New England makes you a great one, because I've not seen a lot of them that have done well. Maybe I'm wrong and I forgot some, but I look at the Bill Walsh coaching tree. I look at the Bill Parcells coaching tree. Those trees have a lot of great coaches, because you look at a Sean Payton that came from Bill Parcells, who was here with the Cowboys and we let him go. Yeah. Could you imagine if Romeo Cornell. Thank you, Victor. Thank you. I'm getting old and forgetful, man. But yeah, Romeo. He's old as dirt, saying, man. He's got to go down at some point. That's Michael Carlson. Okay, try back again, Michael. Because I thought you were Law, because Law's supposed to be joining me in tonight. I would love Sean Payton, but I don't know that Sean Payton's going to leave the Saints. And I'm not sure if he would want to come back, to be quite honest. That would be an interesting. I mean, I would love to have that offensive mind there.
Hey, he ain't coming back.
E2 Blue, where's the 40-yard dash? I missed that one. I'm lost on that one. I appreciate that, Armoro. Where's the 7th round pick from last year? Really? Okay. Yeah, Brandon, you are 100% right. And that's, to me, that's the reason why Chris Richard is gone from that, is because the Legion of Boom still is pissed at Pete Carroll for passing the ball when they should have just given it to beast mode. Because you look at that, I mean, your numbers were incredible. Let's see. Michael?
Yeah, Brendan, you're 100% right. And that's
You got, man, come on, man. How long you been doing this stuff? Turn your sound down, man. Damn.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing, man. I'm just trying to get these damn trolls off me, man. How have you been doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me get mine. Also.
There's no one told you.
Man, when you call in, you gotta have your stuff together, man.
Do your thing.
Let me turn you down a little bit in my ears because that's kind of loud. You wish we had Alabama's coach. Well, that's the thing that's interesting to me because if you can hold on to Chris Richard, I'm a row. I'm a row. Okay, just like Amari, but ends with an O. Amario. Oh, Amario! Thank you for the super chat. Okay, I lost Michael there. When we look at coaches, God, I just want an offensive-minded guy. You know, I keep thinking of Norv Turner. I hate to say that because Norv Turner hasn't had a great record as being a head coach, but you know what he's done with offense. And we need a guy who will take Dak to another level. I look at what he's been able to do with Cam Newton because Cam Newton's QBR is way back up again. He's becoming more of a pocket passer along with still being able to run. You need a guy who's able to do that. I'm sorry. All you Dak haters think that you can just take anybody and put them in here and say, okay, not taking calls right now. You can just take anybody and think that Kellen Moore is going to be able to develop them. Sorry. Not going to happen. Kellen Moore is not a quarterback coach right now. I used to think that it was Wade Wilson was part of the problem, but I'm beginning to believe now more and more that it wasn't Wade Wilson's fault, that it was more of Scott Linehan not allowing Wade Wilson to actually do anything. I may be wrong on that, but I believe that may be the case. Are you there? I see you. Can you speak? Come on, Mike. Mike? Okay. I don't know what happened to my man here. He's not coming through. What's the cost of living in Northern Virginia? High. And it's going to get a lot higher with Amazon coming in. I'm one ugly Simback look. Oh, okay, well, thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate the fact that you think I'm an ugly Simbat somebody. So I guess we won't be dating. Okay, somebody is really trying to get in here hard. Okay, we're not taking any calls tonight, okay? We're actually still waiting for Law Nation to come through. We'll do a call-in show on Monday. How's that? Okay. Oh, I see Sarah and Jackie in the house. How are you doing? Can I explain why Dash... Okay, you know what? I have no problem with people having an opinion about Dak saying, you know, I don't like Dak. He's not a good quarterback. That's fine. That's cool. But when your whole thing is just to come in day after day and just say, Dak sucks, Dak sucks, Dak sucks, Dak trash cut. Okay, how would you like it? Dude. I keep thinking I'm turning the ringer off on that. If your whole thing is just Dak sucks, take it someplace else. If you want to come in and say, you know what, Dak is bad with this, that, and the other, Dak needs to improve on this, I got no problem with that. Tell me what's wrong. Be constructive, but don't just come in and say somebody sucks. Would you want? Would they want me to come to their job every day and say, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck? It's not constructive. And whether you like him or hate him, he's going to be our quarterback the rest of this year and definitely next year because we don't have a number one pick. So that's where I'm just kind of like, enough already. If I've heard you say 50 times, Dak sucks, I got it. You may be right on that one. Let me see. All right, I'm not sure who you are, but you are calling awful hard. What can I do for you tonight?
Calling in to the call-in show.
Yeah, but this isn't a call-in show tonight.
Oh, shit. My bad. I thought it was a call-in show.
No, not tonight. It's not. No, Michael was supposed to call in as well as Law Nation. But since you're here, what's your name and what's your comment?
Okay, I'm Tom, and I just have a thing. We're gonna win this weekend.
Okay.
We're gonna blow them out. The defense is gonna rise up. You watch that secondary on the Atlanta. We're gonna tear them up.
Well, it's gonna be interesting to see Julio Jones with Byron Jones. Yeah.
What's that?
It's going to be interesting to see Julio Jones being covered by Byron Jones. That's going to be an interesting matchup because everybody's been throwing away from Byron Jones. It'll be interesting to see if Matty Ice challenges Byron Jones or not.
Hey, he's going to show his worth, and we're going to have another problem on our hands because we're going to have to pay that, man.
Right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. All right, man. Thank you very much for the call.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Michael. Are you the... Okay. What can I do for you tonight, man?
Hey, I just want to say, again, and appreciate your help. I wanted to throw out, my buddy, Trav Kenny, had passed away.
Right.
And I know you know what's going on with it, but I want to say I think he's helping. He's doing well as far as when he went into the hospital. They had their last the game against the Giants when they lost.
Mm-hmm.
When he passed away, they had lost the Texans and they went 6-3.
You know, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's my homeboy. But other than that, I wanted to say for our Cowboys, I think we'll be okay. In the same way in the Jacksonville game, we started off with the pass just a little bit to open the box and get the defense honest, and then we went back to the run and we blew Jacksonville up. We did the same thing last week. Amari Cooper had he had 5 targets in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the run game opened and we were fine.
Right.
Realize that, I'm consistent with the run as well. That's our game plan. We can maul people. We can do the house. But to me, that's all we need to do, and I think we'll be okay. Atlanta's stingy with the ball. We're not going to get turnovers.
Yeah, but that's the one thing that I wish our defense could do, would get more turnovers. Levon asked his question, are what are chances we win out? Well, well, I tell you what, you know what, here's the thing. The next 3 weeks are basically determined this season. If you get the win here at Atlanta, because you want that win because a tiebreaker, and then you got the Redskins, you got to win against the Redskins. And then you've got New Orleans, and that's going to be a tough one to win. But I've seen the Cowboys get on a roll and have beat New Orleans, at home before. And here's the thing. If our team can at least play just a little bit better on offense, eliminate the penalties, and I got to tell you, the way the offensive line played this past week with Xavier in there, it looked like a totally different offensive line than against the Redskins and against the Titans. If they play like that, then there's a lot of teams that are going to be able to go ahead and open up holes for Zeke. And now that the season's getting late, where teams are getting beat up and all that, the defensive line's a little beat up, but I still believe that we can actually do some damage. And here's the other thing too. After you get past those 3 games, you got the Eagles at home. It's a division game, which is always tough. But then you've got the Colts, Tampa Bay, and then the Giants.
We close out our season very, very, it's in our favor. And if we can win this week, if we can get Atlanta, and then basically after this week, it's in our hands. If we win this game, it's in our hands.
Right.
And that's good for strength.
Mm-hmm. Victor, you don't want to marry my daughter, man. She would end up destroying you, okay? I'm just telling you, I love my daughter, but, man, I tell you what, you be careful what you wish for. How much? My son says, "How much is he worth?" What's that?
But Jason Witten is not doing well.
Oh, he's not good. And that hairpiece. Oh, okay. You know what?
But really, think about Jason Garrett maybe as an offensive coordinator, not Jason Garrett, Jason Witten as maybe a coordinator or coming in as a head coach. I mean, I don't know.
But that's a big pay cut. That's a big pay cut. And that's where everybody's like, oh, let's get Tony Romo to be quarterback coach. And it's like, why would you do? No, I mean, it'd be great if he did, but why would you give up that kind of money to deal with the? I'm sorry, Cowboy fans are assholes.
We have to be. What we're dealing with.
But no, seriously, no matter what, Cowboy fans aren't satisfied. But I got to get Law in here before I close up, my man. But thank you so much. All right, I will see you soon, man.
Take care. We'll see you at the draft for sure.
Okay. All right, Law, call in, my man. There you go. Where are you, Law? I see.
No, Ezekiel Elliott's on the thing.
Say what?
Ezekiel Elliott's.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, man, I've been wondering where you been.
Yeah, man. You know how man, my wife's birthday was yesterday, and some of her girlfriends had stuff out.
Oh, okay. Well, tell her I said happy birthday, man. But I'm glad you're here because I was teasing everybody about the Eagles game. I'm circling it on the calendar. Me and Michael Anthony Fitness are going to be there, and I'm trying to get as many of our fans and friends and stuff out there as well because we need all of the mojo. We need all of the fans out there. We need everybody in the house to take them on. You can barely hear the other person. Okay. Let me turn it up just a little bit here. Hopefully everybody, let me know if you can't hear. I just turned it up a little bit. So tell everybody about Barry.
All right, well, Barry is the quote-unquote the guy that arranged the interviews for the Cowboys players. And, over the years, he was also the guy that set up the ticketing for Cowboys, official ticketing. So what Barry does now is he operates and runs the Cowboys experience, meaning that with the Cowboys experience, he gets several of the former Cowboys players and a few of the current players every home game so that people can, have time to talk to those players and reach out and, get autographs and things like that. So what we doing now with Cowboys experience is that he reaching out to the social media people like me, Mark Holmes, Big Game James, Vash Lombardi. So he reach out to us so that we can bring in some of the people who've never been to a game before. So that's what Barry is doing, man. It's a fantastic deal. It's a fantastic partnership, especially for those who've never been or had a chance to get to the game. What Barry does is he have reasonable pricing, and I will post a link down in the description box, or once the video has been posted, I'll post the Cowboys experience where you guys can go and check out the reasonable pricing for it.
Okay.
And then he got bill passes, MVP access. I mean, it's just wide open for Cowboys Nation.
Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm going to definitely be live streaming everything else. We got the autograph signing on Saturday. Drew Pierce is supposed to be there, right? Of course. Maybe Michael Gallup, and we don't know who else at the moment, but it's definitely going to be something we want to do.
It's Jeff Heath, Michael Gallup, and Rod Smith. They all confirmed that they're coming.
Okay, so what's the chances that I'm going to be able to get an interview?
99.9% chance.
Okay. Let me adjust.
No, I'm cross on that. I'm sorry. That is confirmed for the Redskins game the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay, right. All right.
That's confirmed for that particular event. And of course Sherman Williams as well as Lincoln Cole.
I remember Lincoln. Yeah. Okay. Too much distortion. Okay, now for whatever reason I've got it up too loud. Now let me play. Hang on, guys. I think Joe Boo's messing up with me. Okay, hopefully that's better. Okay.
Shout out to Joe
There we go. Hopefully that's it. Because now everybody's, it's too loud. Okay. All right, hopefully you got straight. So, Law Nation's got definitely, if you guys don't know who Law Nation is, you are listening to nothing but the best. I'll go ahead and do another video, and I'll post a link and stuff to them as well. So that way, if you guys want to join us and things, that you can join us, because it's going to be an event. Is your incoming call connected to you? No, it's not. Blur. Okay. Too loud. Is it still too loud? Okay, and I know there's a delay, so you guys probably haven't caught up. My numbers are looking pretty good here. And it has a buzzing noise. Okay, hold on. I don't know if it's coming from your feed or not. Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock, so we can always end it there, and I can figure it out later. But let me get your thoughts on the game this week.
I think that we have to beat the Atlanta Falcons. We have to beat the officials. We have to also hurry up our score. I think that we play better with the league. This is the thing. The only reservation that we may have against the Atlanta Falcons, they average 30 points a game at their home. So we're going to have to figure out if our defense can hold up at least 14 to 15 points, 16, something like that. If we can manage to get up 20 points, then we can win this game.
Well, here's an interesting thing, because I was talking about this, because I started investigating this. They're actually 3-2 at home this year. Okay? Now, here's an interesting thing, because I was going through, and if you take the defenses that they faced, they've actually played some pretty bad defenses. The best defense that they played this season has been the Steelers, which are 8th ranked. Everybody else is 15th or worse. So collectively, now here's an interesting thing, because you look at the Browns being 31st, you look at the Saints being 23rd, the Bengals 32nd, Tampa Bay 28th, Giants 22nd. If you average that out, divide it out by the games, they're averaging playing the 21st rated defense every week. On the flip side, our Cowboys, doing the same formula, 13th. We've been playing some tough. I mean, we've got 3 teams that are top 10 defenses: Houston, Titans, and Jacksonville. 2 of them are top 5. Six of the teams that we have played, 6 or the 7, are 17th or better in defense. That's some pretty stout defenses. Because think about it: you got the Panthers are 15th. The Giants are the worst one at 22nd. Seattle's 11th, even without Earl Thomas and stuff. Lions are 19th. Texans are 9th. Jacksonville's 3rd. The Skins are 17th. Titans are 6th. And the Eagles are 16th. So it's not like we've been playing Cleveland's and Cincinnati's and stuff. We've been playing some tough defenses.
We've been playing these tough defenses. We have to spend favorable schedule too, because it's always been a home away and a home away and a home away type of then away. So
Lennox Murphy says stop stealing his material. But see, here's the thing, that if we were somehow able to sneak into the playoffs, we got 2 of the elements that you want to have for the playoffs: a defense and a running game.
Oh yeah.
You know, because we can control the clock and stuff.
Sneak off in there, and then also it will be one of those things whereas we will be hot going into the playoffs. Undoubtedly, it'll be one of those wild card games, which I prefer. I said at the beginning of the year.
Oh, you know what? Have to fight to get into the playoffs, because whenever we've got that bye week, we haven't done shit. But yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. Well, guys, I don't know why you can't hear Law. I'm hearing him burning up in my ear here, but I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff squared away. I'll have it straightened out by Monday. Maybe we'll be able to get Law back on Monday, but I'll put the link in for where you guys can get tickets and things like that. If you want to go to the Redskin game and stuff, they still have tickets for Thanksgiving, and definitely I want to see as many people as possible at that Eagle game. Can't hear.
Yeah, that's why I was screaming in your ear.
Okay. I done something. I done fucked up something, but forgive me, guys. But anyway, I'm going to end this here right now, guys. Thank everybody for being here, and I'll see you guys